Hello all, welcome back to the channel. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I hope it's not rambly, even though I've already gotten off to a rambly start. I just feel so great. I must ramble. So recently, I'm not suicidal anymore. And this is a very recent thing, and it was definitely a journey. And the way I described it was, it was always like music that was playing in the background. And then when the music was finally off, I was wondering why it was so quiet. Like, it was always there. And for me, I'm a person of familiarity. So, like, even though it wasn't great music, it always just felt comforting. Just because I knew what it was and I knew it was there and it was a part of me. And, like, it didn't feel bad, you know? After a while, it was just like, oh, suicide is just a thing that I do, that I think about. That's fine. I feel a lot of my priorities changing now that I don't have this music playing in the background or this thing hanging over my head or this weight on my shoulders or however you want to describe it. I used to like fill myself with things, not necessarily physical things, just things like busy body, busy minded, whatever, to try to distract me from distract me from other things and distract me from that music and those thoughts and all that. But now that I don't have that, I told a friend something similar about how I'm taking a break from politics, and that friend said there's a lot to be said for a mind at ease. And that, you know, it's like those things that you know, but when you finally hear them or see them, it has its own impact. It's like that. And everyone's mental health journey deserves to be said. And I'm not judging people who have committed suicide or are suicidal or whatever. They're in that place because they have their reasons, no matter what. And I just feel I feel great, and I'm getting rid of those things that make me unhappy. Like, I'm not going to stop following politics. Politics is being apolitical is a privilege that I cannot afford. There are a lot of things that affect my daily life, and politics is one of them. Local, national, international. Politics affects our lives every day because politics does have an effect on what we can and can't have. So that's not going away, but I certainly don't need to have a microscope on it. Some of you might know what I'm talking about a little bit better than others. And I would never encourage anyone to be apolitical. Whether I disagree with your political values or not, you need to care because this affects our lives. And I don't feel like I need to fill myself with stuff and always be doing something and always be thinking about something. And that's the biggest impact. Just quieting my mind. I feel like it started with a changing perspective on death and thinking about an afterlife if there is one. You know, like what if there is a big room where everybody's waiting to be incarnated? What if there is a judgment place where people are your soul's eternity is affected by something? What if it is like Final Fantasy VII, where there's an invisible aura-like force around the world that we come out of when we were born and go back into when we die? What if, you know, what's terrifying to people is nothing. What's terrifying to people is thinking that we go through all these things in this earthly plane and we get put here and we have all these interactions and we go through life just to go into nothing. That terrifies people. So we make up all these things. We make up this afterlife with no guarantee of one or the other. But those of us who have had paranormal or metaphysical experiences get kind of a glimpse in the other part of that. And I'm going to keep talking shit about Minnesota, but I feel like I've gone through a whole bunch of things here that who's to say I wouldn't have gone through them in another place, but I went through it here. And I feel like the things that I went through here have helped me get to where I am now. Like deciding who is and isn't worth my time, what is and isn't worth my time, making stricter boundaries, meeting a lot of different types of people with a lot of different mindsets. This place is really diverse. Like, yes, it is very white, and if that matters to you, I wouldn't suggest you come here. So is Iowa, and so is a lot of the Midwest. But like, there's a lot of diverse mindsets up here. Even though a lot of people are subscribed to the passive aggressiveness, not everybody does that. Not everybody's from here, first of all. That's a Scandinavian thing. But even though there's not a whole lot of diversity in some areas, what I'm saying is there are a lot of diversity in other areas. And I've experienced other spiritualities up here more closely than I've experienced them in other places. And just cleaning myself out, like decluttering. Your mind and your body are things to declutter at your own will. Some people, they have whatever music is going on and they're in their headspace that they need to fill with, or maybe they're okay with it or whatever. But mental health is a thing. Like, it's not something that we can blame people for. It is something that situations that can be overcome. It all depends on the person, but I'm not saying any of this to devalue anyone's journey or where anyone's at. And some people never get out of their whatever they're into. So this Valentine's Day, I want you to know that I love you for who you are, and I love you for where you are in your journey. And yeah, that good old community love is coming on out. It's an important love that we all need to have for each other and respect each other. So I love and respect you. You take care of yourself now.